Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smith in the Black channel here, Ticker Talker, and inside weeks are starting to take hold here. And what do I mean by that? So if you look at the SPY here, still an inside week. Haven't taken out the highs or the lows. Now we had two nice runs here, but you can see now we stall out on the daily doing nothing doji. So the question is, for the rest of the day, are we going to be able to continue to take out yesterday's highs? And you can see here, if you go to 60 minute, stuck, right? All this stuff just stuck in here. How do we get out of this, right? And so we can expect that on inside weeks to stall out, right? So it would be nice if it just went powering into the highs, but we don't have that. Still on the month, running out of month, and just another doji month. So as far as today, we're just stuck. We will need to take out one of these highs or lows and then stay out of there. But right now, we're not doing that. If you go to QQQ, and Q's going to the highs, and then just stall out. Now you got an inside 60, so at least that's something to keep an eye on here for the next hour. Q's taking out 348.31 or 347.54 on the downside. If we go to the diamonds, we know the diamonds have been more challenged here, and diamonds as of right now would be an inside day. See you tomorrow, right? How do we take this out, right? Because once again, inside week and nowhere near taking it out. So you're green, but you're nowhere near taking out last week's highs. You're red on the month, right? So you got conflict, and now you're just stuck inside on these 60s doing nothing. Because we were watching a bunch of inside days over there for today, but it looks like we haven't to wait another day. You got Honeywell was an inside day doing nothing. IBM inside day doing nothing really. So Johnny John taking an inside day to the downside, but you can't, without this some more weekly help, you're not getting a lot of big movement here, especially if you go to the small cappers. Here, also inside on the 60. 2-day up, so a little better, but once again, inside week, right? That's a problem because we're coming into, it's Wednesday, we're halfway through it, right? And you had this trying to work on the monthly, but now back to nothingness. So if you go to, and I always like to bring up the scans here. So if you go to the scan here, like I said, I can tell you what the market's doing by scanning. So if you go here and you go, okay, volume and inside week. So what you're going to see is you're going to see a whole bunch of stocks across different sectors. That tells you we're stalling out. You got Ford, you got GE, you got AMD, Bank of America, FCX, letter X, all still inside week. Then you got airlines, American Airlines, Pfizer, so you got drugs, you got Citicorp, so you got financials. Exxon, you got energies, Snappy, Intel, so some tech here, DraftKings, it just keeps going down the line. You got Coke, more airline, Nvidia still inside week, all this kind of stuff, General Motors, Macy's, Starbucks, you can see a bunch of retail, there's Delta. So when you go through and you see all these things still inside week on a Wednesday, that's a problem. You can expect stuff to stall out. Morgan Stanley, Valero, more energy, so all that kind of stuff, it's kind of important to know about. Let me get this thing out of here. That's important, so we can expect this stall out like we're getting. So, like I said, we got some of these inside 60s and stuff. We can see if we can get out of here and do anything. Because if we don't, we're just going to get stuck. So, what we can do is look for things that are taking at least some signals. Here, Tesla's not an inside week. You see, that's different. It's an inside month, which is a problem. But you got your inside day here. All right. So one of the things we look for here is this: the outside day by taking out both sides, the inside day, and then boom. The magnitude is just to take that out, but since they're willing to pay up and sell down the previous day and then meet an equilibrium, oftentimes this is the real move. That's why we look for 312. Boom. So now you have your inside 60 in Tesla here, and we want to see if they can take that out. So that'd be above 650, 370 for the next hour. We'll see. Market softening up just a tad as I start to speak. Roku, a lot of usual suspects, at least to start off here. And Roku, once again, that RevStrat month, inside, then down, then up, right? Here's your broadening formation on the weekly, just about hitting that, right? You can see that, higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low, inside day, and boom, off she goes. I mean, inside week. So it's had a nice run. We've been talking about this since down in here. The 2 down, 2 up, boom, 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 boom. And this is one of the good things about the strat is when you get a hold on one, you can just let it rock, right? Once if you got a hold of this 2-2 here, no 2 down, boom, and that's all the way down here. 346.12, trading 417 and no lower low. So that's why you want to try and hold on to them if you get them good. Tries to tick up on the 60 here, but just doesn't really go. 417.11, just kind of sitting there like a lot of things stalling out. If we go to PERI, and PERI, Perry, another thing we look for in that monthly, right? Taking out these lows, two down, and then boom. Here's your reversal on the month. Just running out a month over 1829. So that working, had a nice day here, and you can see that outside day here triggered back through previous range. And if that works, it's going to trigger that, right? We always want to know if something's going to work, if it's going to trigger something else. Some more of the bios we've been talking about for a while. ILMN still going, and there's that once again, RevStrat month. Inside, then down, and then up, right? So that with ALNY in the bio, and that pokes up on the day, doesn't really get blasting here, but anything over 173.13 has my attention for the day. Now inside on the 60 down in here, so we'll see if we can take that out. This would be 174.42 if you can take that out, because once again, we've been looking at these all month. The inside month, the down, and then boom, back to previous range. Still looking to take out this high of 178.41. If we go to EW, also in the bio, still going. And there's your inside month, Momo hammer. So anybody got short on this hammer, got caught, boom, and they're trying to get out. And they're still trying to get out, not really ripping today, but still making new highs. Market coming in a little bit, trying to take some of these 60s to the downside. If we go to some of the semis, SWKS is coming up here a little bit. Now stalling out, just takes all previous range out in here. Kind of stuck in here in the weekly, you can see this. But at least it was green. How's MU doing? MU was having a nice little day too, but now mellowing out. If we go to FVRR, Fiverr. And Fiverr stalls out like a lot of things on the 60, so if we can see if we can take this out, and that'd be 238.25, because once again, the same pattern on the month. Inside month, pokes down, boom, RevStrat to the upside, 2-2 reversal after the inside bar. Looking to try and come up, see if we can take something like this out, 252. So you got a little bit more room on that. Market coming in now, and we'll get to that in a second. You could go to the energy, XLE. Here you can see this is kind of stuck in here in OIH. Stuck, it was inside day, but gaps up and still inside week. So one of the things you can look for when that happens to see if there's anything going on that's not doing that. Right now that'd be LPI, outperforming here in the energy sector. The old used to be somebody climbing up the wall of worry here, having a nice week here, and you can see this took out the previous high, took out the previous low. That's what we look for. 2 up, 2 down, boom. These two become an outside bar of that, and if you're lucky, you get a little bit more. And as you can see, you certainly did. Here, you can see this tight, choppy range. So when they come down here, it stops all these guys out. And then here's your 2 down because it took out the low. This is an outside bar, so when it took out this high here, we're looking to take out this at least. Boom, and you got it because of, and you had that weekly help over here. If we go to TWLO. And TWLO, inside 60, like a lot of things, but it did come up and do that, what we're looking for. Take this out. Here's your inside month, poke down, and here for the rest of the month over 374. Took it out, off she goes, we'll see. Here's how you get in on that daily. 2 up by taking out the highs, 2 out by taking out the lows, and then boom, the upside. Market coming in, looks like something's hitting on the tape. Didn't hear what my squawk said, but it sounds like something's coming in here now. I'm going to take some of these 60s down. Inside 60 to the downside. QQQ. Inside 60 to the downside as I speak, right there. So that's why you wait for that equilibrium and boom. Hit it right there below that 347.54. And here she goes. If we go to Twitter. And Twitter, still good on that month. 2 down, 2 up. Right now starting to come in with the market, and we've got what else we got here? Futu. Okay, and Futu just yesterday came through here, right? Went outside, and now just coming up a little bit. Now coming in with the market, and that'd be RevStrat 60 to the downside, just like we're watching those monthlies. Inside bar. pokes up, and then boom, for the next hour below this, 168.83 has my attention. All right, looks like it might just be a little blipper here on the screen. So sometimes we call it the vortex, right? And what that means is when things get really tight here, some people watching like a 5-minute chart will be like, ooh, it's all over, right? But when you're looking at the daily chart, you can see the spike's still doing nothing. Now that's something. I mean, coming down, all it's really going to do here, potentially, is give us a little bit more price discovery broadening formation like this on the 5-minute. Slight lower low here. Now, how do you get out of this? Something we want to know. Okay. Okay, we're talking about, looks like some interest rates on the tape again. We'll see. If we go to ORPH. ORPH, just a little shenaniganer. Had a little move in the morning. Let's see if it's doing anything. Now you get stuck in here. So, but remember, this a while back had that big spike up over 70. So you can keep an eye on this inside 60 to see if anything comes through that. If we go to EXPI. And EXPI. Inside on the 60, like a lot of things, just having a nice day. Outside week to the upside. This monthly, 2 down hammer and 2 back up. So you can see here, when you get chopped up in here, this guy right here stops out all these guys. Now, you're going to see a new broadening formation like so, to see if you can get out of this. Here. How are you going to get out of this thing? That's what we want to know about. If we go to SSYS and Triple D, still an inside day here, but we'll see how that 60 lines up if you can get out of here, but still on that month. 2 down, 2 up, over 24.71. You're still there. So even if it stays inside day, certainly can keep an eye on that coming into tomorrow. With Triple D. Still skirting the highs up there, so not backing off. Let's see what's going on here. We got Wynn Resorts going to the lows. What's going on here? Yeah, Wynn Resorts potential outside day here after taking the inside day up. What you can expect because it's an inside week. It's tight, it's doing nothing, just going back and forth. But LVS here, LVS a little worse. You can see LVS here taking out last month's lows, right? So still like 4 months, just backing off here. Still flirting with last week's lows, and you'll see once again here on the daily, the outside day by taking out both sides, the inside day and down, all right? So we're looking to go take this low out here below 52.80, all right? That would be the real move. If we go to the utilities, XLU trying to recover off the 60 a little bit, but you can see here taking out last week's lows, right? Inside month to the downside, right? So you look for this kind of action here where it slightly takes out the high. That's a 2 up, and then boom, right here. These two become an outside bar of that, which it did. The market's recovering a little bit from those comments. So if you go to stuff like Dominion, you're going to see that same thing. Pokes up, 2 up, and then boom. These two become an outside bar of that, taking out last month's lows. Now recovering a little bit here on the flip on the 60, so you can see if that sets up again. If we go to General Dynamics. General Dynamics, just an inside day to the downside, still handily inside week, so just be aware of that. And that always tells you can look at, like, see how Lockheed Martin's doing. And Lockheed Martin going back toward those weekly lows, trying to come out and take out that monthly low. If we go to Moderna. In Moderna, we're on this because once you take this out on the daily and go back red, we're looking for an outside day, which we got. There's an outside bar. So when you fail one side of the range and start going back through, you can look for an inside 15 right here. Booming into the lows she goes. Looks like I'm running out of time. If you go to just a couple more JKS here, still inside day, we'll see, but it's trying to have that inside weekend down. So you can see tomorrow if we can take that out. If we go to Checkpoint, rough day here, and once again, the outside day by taking out both sides, the 2 up but back into the range, and then boom, when you take out this low, we're looking to take that low out at least, and if that works, you're going to take out the inside week to the downside. Back and forth we go because it's inside month doji basically doing nothing. And then if you go to the 15, you'll see this. The poke down, the poke up, 2, 2, 2. Boom, you're in. Let me see here. Okay, how about EA? EA on the inside day to the downside. Took it out by 1 penny and then came back through the ring. So as soon as that went red, we're looking for an outside bar to the downside. Got it. All right, so like I said, things drying up here a little bit because you got inside weeks cooking here. So be aware of that. And once again, you can watch this right here. Now back to the middle of the 5-minute broadening formation spy. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, the Smith Black Channel here at Ticker Taco Strat Time Report.